Yes, now, and welcome back to another London Card Show special. I can't believe it. I'm going to say this. It's the last one of 2025 already. Don't know where that time's gone. But before we introduce the very, very special guest, just a massive thanks yet again for Third Down UK for powering up this episode of the Top Loaded Podcast. Whether you need card supplies, custom cards down, great preparation kits, or whatever you require, head over to their website, check out their store, use the link in the bio, and use the code TTP10 at checkout, save 10% off. But the special guest, the man of the hour, for the last time in 2025, which sounds weird already, Mr. Harry Reynolds. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. That is weird to say. End of 2025 already. But yes, I'm very good, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, doing very well. Like I say, I can't wait for this weekend. But we always say this: it's quick 3 months. We always say it, but it seems like only yesterday we was in Chicago for the national, and then coming back for the last London Card Show. So before I get into this upcoming show this weekend, how has it been for you in 2025, and obviously the team as well, because it's been another successful year for yourselves.
It's been, yeah, it's gone quickly, which I think is always a good thing. 2025 has been, I think, has exceeded our expectations, which I hope means it's exceeded for you guys, everyone's expectations. I think record-breaking numbers, which is always a good thing, not just for us, but for the hobby, the fact that we're growing, and being able to sustainably put 4 shows on a year, each increasing in attendance, in customer satisfaction from what I'm told, in yeah, just all round is a big tick for us. So it's gone very quickly. Needless to say, eyes are on 2026 for more reasons than one. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, very, very enjoyable year. But I'm excited for a rest in December, but I think I'm more excited to get going again for what 2026 holds.
Yeah, before we get into all the joys and pleasure, talking about 2026, which is going to be a monumental, groundbreaking, another record breaking year. Let's talk about obviously this weekend and the last show of the year. It's November as well. It's crazy to say, but how's everything looking for this weekend? Because before I talk about certain items that are arriving that are available in the shop, which I'm very much looking forward to, how's the show looking?
It's looking good. Yeah, again, it's a lot of the same, but a lot
Mm.
different, which I think is the unique point about a London Card Show now. 90% of most shows are the same, which is why people love it, that kind of normality, that familiarity. But at the same time, we've got that kind of difference. So this time eBay have a huge area, which is really, really cool. eBay Live is doing good, impressive numbers and good things in the hobby. So excited to see what they kind of bring for their area. NBA kind of sprinkle. I know me and you were there last week for the NBA launch in London. So Tops are going to have a good kind of NBA activation and. Oh, excuse me. And yeah, we do have our brand new merch kind of, which we've been holding back for a while to kind of release all in one go, a big range, not just clothing, but binders and certain people's favorite mascot plushies coming along. So yeah, we'll get into that. But that's something I've been a little project of mine, which I know I've been chirping at you boys for your opinion on this, that, and the other. So I'm excited to see what everyone thinks of it.
Yeah, as I say, we'll get into tops as well, actually, because obviously we was at the launch event last Friday at the Regent Street store where I heard a new job title for you, the resident expert. Can we just say what a job title that was for the day? That was incredible.
It was a cool day. Yeah, rubbing shoulders with people you've grown up watching on YouTube, on TV, um, and just chilling with them, ripping packs with them. It was a pinch me moment. But yeah, I hope I didn't look like I was out of place, and I feel like I did a worthy job for the collector alongside obviously Simon, Mini Minter, and Harry Pinero, and obviously Darkest Man. So it was good fun. The day went well. A couple huge pulls though,
Oh,
which were really cool to kind of witness and kind of see.
yeah, I was going to say, from me being a bit biased perspective, actually really into the basketball as well. Seeing them actually have this activation at the show, I think it's great because I think there's still quite a lot of people within the UK, but especially now that Tops are taking it over, will actually have that exposure to basketball. Because whereas when it was with its previous license, it wasn't as much available in the UK, but I've seen that there's going to be like quizzes throughout the day to win prizes, as well as them selling the blasters. So it's really showing how it goes hand in hand to the shop and then transitioning into card shows, which just helps us as the collector, as the investor, the buyer, the grader, whatever it may be, actually have that product to hand. And I can tell people now it is a fun rip as well. Very fun. Yeah, as I say, it's a fun rip. I've ripped a hobby box already. I think you've done a number of jumbos, blasters, hobbies in the store, but like with Tops now bringing the product to the collector as well, it's really bridging that gap. I think which was very evident, even if we talk about the first Sandown show, of now the companies are actually in line with the customer, and it's great to see the footfall at the shop at the card show of companies are actually talking to the people who are buying the product.
Yeah, it's really refreshing. The product which they're doing is affordable. It's for an entry level. The level of
Mm.
people in this set is really, really impressive. Obviously, Cooper Flag, LeBron, Legends, Shaq, Larry Bird, all in there. But like moving on to the whole education thing, which they pushed a lot for Topps Premier League, and I think they're kind of integrating that business plan for this as well. So it's refreshing from that aspect. And I think, like you've kind of mentioned before, the most refreshing thing of all is the fact that these companies aren't just showing up at shows to kind of meet a quota anymore.
Mm.
They're showing up to kind of get feedback. They're showing up to kind of understand the next step, which the consumer wants from them, what they think of the existing stuff, all these kind of things. So I think Tops are leading from that perspective in the aspect of their activations. They're bringing something slightly different to each show, but more and more companies are kind of doing the same, just growing to each
Yeah.
step. And Tops are one of the first to bring a big activation to shows. And like I said, more and more companies like Third Down themselves are bringing a big setup. They're having a whole island for this show because they've grown from a few tables to then having 4 or 5 to now having a whole island where there's going to be various things go on. So it's exciting times for the hobby, and certainly it shows, as you said, it's more than just collecting now. It's a lot of these companies kind of using it as an opportunity to give back a little bit.
As I say, I think just piggybacking on the end of that, when we was in Chicago for the National, you really see that aspect of the show. It's so prominent that there's a whole area, like the corporate area, but it's not just a corporate area where people just walk past it and walk through it. It's very engaging and interactive as well. And I think, like you say there, eBay Live is obviously going to have a bigger presence at this show. And we see their presence at the National as well being a nice big presence. So how does it feel? I think last time, if I'm led to believe, they had like a trailer kind of thing where you could
Yeah.
live stream eBay Live. I remember that one. So how's it now to see the fruition of like the stages they're going through as well with more engagement?
I think that was almost like a statement to go that you don't buy a well, yeah, we'll call it a trailer, a bus, a van,
Yeah,
an eBay Live van for one show, and I think that will certainly be part of their island, and they're certainly. I'm not even going to say island actually; it's whole area.
mm,
There'll be sitting area where you can watch what's going on in the van, where you can speak to a member of the team. I'm sure there'll be some kind of immersive and interactivity going on. So yeah, it's really refreshing seeing one of the leading companies in the industry, both from eBay and eBay Live really stepping up their presence at the show and for a long time as well, I can say.
yeah. I was going to say, moving on well from that, of I've got to ask the question because I've been waiting for it since ever since you teased this in our group chat of the legend. I'm not even going to say the mascot, the legend of the London Card Show, Hector the Collector plushies will be available this stock. Yeah,
Yes.
everyone's now already just writing it down in the phone. Remember to buy Hector the Collector. A, where did that idea come about? But B, I can't wait to get hold of one. And no doubt everyone else listening to this is now thinking, right, whereabouts will the Hector go on my collection?
Yeah, so I'll start actually from the very beginning because Katie said, "Why don't we get a mascot?" I said, "Why would we need a mascot at the London Card Show? It's a card show. It's not like anything like that. Well, why would we need a mascot?" And then I went to the National a couple years ago, so maybe 2, 3 years ago, I'm not sure. And I remember walking past this random mascot. I didn't know who it was for. I didn't know what the mascot was, but I just wanted to take a picture with it. And I
Yeah.
took a selfie and I called Katie pretty quickly and I went, "Yeah, you were right. Let's do something cool." And so we took a while getting designs, what would go well with the color of the brand, what would kind of look
Mm.
fun. and like inviting, but at the same time kind of cool as well. The cap sideways, backwards, all this kind of stuff. So we ended up with Hector. And then again, take this how you will, but the amount of kids which just loved Hector, like just giving me on
Yeah.
the cuddle, and let alone grown adults,
Oh, yeah.
taking pictures. So we were like, but the amount of, yeah, it's just one of those things where you want to take him home and give him a cuddle at home, and we're like, well, why not? Like, let's make that happen. And yeah, lo and behold, we've got mini Hector plushies coming along amongst our new. I guess you could call this the show of the merch,
Oh,
kind of, because we do have a whole range full of stuff coming this weekend.
oh, you're now teasing us with that. We're going to have to talk about the show of the merch. That it sounds like an absolute like Oscar-winning film that does. So I've got to
Oh,
ask. So
yeah,
what other
not
bits
yeah.
shall we expect?
Not quite. So we've got Vault X binders, co-branded binders again, kind of I think edition two ones. They're very similar to the ones before with some slight changes, but they're very popular. We sold out
Mm,
of them, and so we've got them back in stock. Just four pocket binders, nice and cheap. It just works well. We liked it. It's got our kind of it's black, but with the London Card Show blue branding in the middle with the zip. Again, can't really go wrong. Everyone loves them. Um, and then from the perspective of merch, we do have obviously the Gem Mint Club collection launching finally. So we've got two caps. The first launch is going to be pretty small, but it's going to be two caps, a kind of white and a navy one as a trucker hat. And then how do you describe the other one? This was like black with grey writing, kind of not denim, but more, I don't know how
yeah,
to call it, like
it's a
rustic,
very
we'll
like
call it.
it's a sleek design.
Yeah.
For a context, you can wear it out, but also wear it on the golf course. Is that kind
It's
of
yes,
golf
well
design
said.
to it?
It's yeah, it's smart but casual. We'll call it for a cap. And we've also got the kind of beige, cream, white
Mm,
kind of hoodies coming as well. We're really excited. I've wanted a a merch brand for a while, and I didn't want it to like. I love the London Card Show merch. That stuff is really cool, just with the logo and then the cool stuff on the back, like the illustration. Um, but I wanted something which it doesn't look like you've been to the show, which you can wear, like almost like, oh yeah, you go to a concert and I'll get a
yeah.
Take That t-shirt. I didn't want it to be just that. So what we've done is we kind of made a clothing brand for the hobby. Like you could support, you could collect TCG, you could collect sport, you could collect anything. And everyone still wants a Gem Mint 10 when they submit, whether it's to Ace, whether it's to PSA. You want that Gem Mint. So being part of the Gem Mint Club is open to everyone. You don't have to have got a Gem Mint 10 or you don't have to have one in your collection, but everyone is a Gem Mint 10 who buys the hoodie. As cringe as that sound, that's why it's a Gem Mint Club. It's really cool. We've put a lot of time, effort. We've spoken to loads of people. Again, I've apologized in the group chat the amount of times like, lads, what do we think of this? Do you think this is slightly too big? Should I put this in the middle or the side? The caps, which two out of these five? Hoodie, yeah, this size, baggy, this height, like we've gone through it all, and yeah, hopefully we'll be seeing a fair few people wearing the stuff this weekend.
Yeah, I've got to admit, it does look great. And obviously, there is an Instagram page already for the Gem Mint Club where you can see a preview of what is coming this weekend. So
Yes,
I've got to say, it does look very good. Obviously, you had one on as well last week at the Regent Street store for the NBA
I was
event, which,
cheeky. I threw it in
yeah,
there. I got it
yeah,
on.
don't worry, we noticed that when you was chilling with Mini Mint, with everyone else. We see that. And this is one off here. We can see a little Yankees flag in the background. Was the trucker one, which is navy and white, any chance inspired by the New York Yankees?
There was some influence, but
Uh,
again, I plead the fifth otherwise.
yeah. So for everyone who's not interested in baseball, don't worry, it's just navy and white. But for me and Harry, it's Yankees themed. So even better. But obviously, moving back to the show, obviously, I can't wait for the show of the merch. That's sticking now, right? That stuff. But we've got a big footballer who's in attendance as well this weekend, which I
Yes.
think is a really cool. I know our good friend Lav is looking forward to this one. But for anyone who hasn't heard, who is the ex footballing legend who's coming down?
It's Italian West Ham and Chelsea legend, Mr. Gianfranco Zola, which is probably the biggest name we've had down, well, certainly up there. Um, Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. Really cool guy. I've spoken to him a couple times. He's excited. He's one of those people who's like, cards? Like, what's that about? And like everyone who's come before, I suspect he's going to be pretty flabbergasted when he leaves. But certainly that's the aim, to impress. But yeah, I already know he's going to be pretty busy during that signing session after the main stage.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's always quite cool to see it, and obviously when I speak to you as well, because some of them have no context of it, but then they end up walking round, and in a way, they see their own
Yeah.
face on tables as well, which must be kind of surreal for them at first as well.
I think yeah, there's a few Zola cards in the most recent Premier League
Yeah,
set as well. I know he's got a Chrome King, for
yeah,
certain, so I can imagine quite a few of them will be
yeah.
being the price of them at the show might go up a little bit. I've said to a few people, if you've got any of them, just hold them back for Sunday because all of a sudden they'll be going from pound cards to £5, £10 cards, so people have something to get signed.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I think it's grown. It's grown. I remember the first time you saying, "I we're gonna get a couple of people down for the show," but even on the TCG side as well, every single show is getting bigger and better in terms of if it's Pokemon related, Lucana related. There's so many different people coming along. So, for obviously non just sports side, is there anyone else coming along to the show this weekend?
So yes, we do have a TCG artist coming down. I believe he's the voice of Charmander.
Ooh,
I could be wrong there. James has been the icon, the legend who's organised all that. He's almost our TCG representative. I'm the
yeah,
sports guy. But yeah, we always try and get a couple, whether it's Lorcana, a couple Disney on the cards for the most recent Topps Chrome set. We're talking about them for down the line. Sports stars, Pokemon voices, Pokemon artists. So we're always trying to do something like that. And I think at this moment, a lot of our eggs are going into the basket of the XL.
yeah.
We've got some huge ones already announced for the XL, and I think, yeah, well, I'm not think I know a lot of our attention is already on that, and we're really excited for a little bit of. I know it sounds mental, but normality this weekend for the November show because even though the XL hasn't started yet, sorry, it hasn't happened yet. It's what we're putting a huge amount of time into the release of sports tables, other tables, the release of the floor plan, and had a slight hiccup with the TCG tables, but again, it's not till April, so we're not too worried about that.
I was going to say with this show this week, I always ask the same question. It's always the same response because tickets are so hard to get in the week off. But I know you and the team get inundated with messages in the week building up regarding tickets. So how is it looking for ticket sales? Obviously this weekend for anyone who might be trying to make that last second ticket purchase or journey down to Sandown.
Sadly, unless you can make it on the Friday, we are sold out this time. We've started selling afternoon tickets, and yeah, even they've sold out. So another 10K plus weekend for us, which is really, really cool to say, based on ticket sales. If you are desperate for tickets, reach out and we always get a handful of cancellations, but obviously we don't advertise that because then we just get more disappointed people. So reach out to us if you are looking for tickets and we can let you know if we can get you in or get you in at 1 o'clock or whatever. So reach out to us. Always ask because the worst we can say is no, there's nothing available, but there is Friday tickets available at the time of recording.
Yeah, we do stress at time of recording because things are very are quick to change. But as we always say as well, pay close attention to the socials because anything changes, that will be the first place that is
It
announced. So
will
head over to
indeed.
London Card Show on Instagram. But I've got to ask, obviously, while we close out 2025, and I feel sorry for saying about the February show, it's Valentine's weekend, so we're looking forward to that one. However, it'd be rude of us not to talk about obviously the big show next April, taking over the XL London. I personally can't wait already, and I think, and I know for sure, a lot of people have got this circled in their diaries on their phones already, which is crazy to think. But I know we will talk about a little bit of details. The floor plans out, but it must be for you. Obviously, gone from that announcement video, throwing all the different from Buckinghamworth at Tolworth, downstairs, upstairs, into the XL. Is it slowly becoming a reality now that realistically there's only this show, next show in February, and then it's the XL time now? It's only about 6 months away.
It's pretty scary. I can't wait, but at the same time, I can wait. It's one of those where, from our perspective, we almost want it to be tomorrow. The amount of time we've already put in, and we get the feeling that there won't actually be loads to do in the couple
Mhm.
weeks, months building up because we're having with the venue this size and logistics needing to be set in stone, all that kind of stuff way before, so the venue can almost take control of the on the day stuff. We need to get everything done now. So
Yeah.
vendors, obviously, when reaching out to those sports people, if you're thinking, oh, that price is a bit steep, get a few of you. I've reached out to a few people, said, look, if you can get 5, 10 people who are looking for tables across the weekend, the more tables you're going to bring, the cheaper we can do it for you. And that's if you're at basketball, find 5, 10 other basketball people or 5, 10 tables worth. NFL, we want there to be a presence of every sport. And I really mean that baseball, NFL, NBA, all of it. Because that's what makes a really good show. And we've got a real good kind of foundation for that. Negotiations and talks are ongoing with a huge amount. So from the sports perspective, it's going to be a good show.
Mm.
We all know how tough it is in terms of the TCG market taking over and how easy that is. But even though there's a lot more tables available, I'm not going to make all those available to TCG. So yeah, we're taking over 5, 6 halls of the XL, which is pretty big. We're looking forward to that. But at the same time, we've got a job to do in November for that show.
Yeah.
We've got a job to do in February for that show. And that's our priority. And then our priority after that will be the XL, and that's all we can think about. It doesn't make those shows any less important to us.
Oh no, I definitely agree there. And like I say, if anyone hasn't seen it yet, just head over to the Instagram page and see the floor plan for the XL because I wouldn't even know where to. I think I would have got lost straight away. And the amount of tables it is, it's mind blowing. It is. I know, obviously, I think we can actually compare comparisons now to like the national in terms of sheer size of that floor plan. Because I was looking at it like, hold on, oh, that's like 4 tables. But then I actually realized I zoomed in and it was actually like 20, and I was like, wow, this is going to be big. It's mind blowing just to think about. But in terms of the XL and obviously Sandown as well, we can see this progression now of the hobby. And I think we used to say it. I remember the first time you was on going into Sandown, and you look at it now of you get over 10,000 people for a show at Sandown. The hobby is growing massively, whether it's just the exposure from new people getting into it, like we said, the people who are at the events and sidemen, the YouTubers, but it really seems like there's a lot more traction. And whereas before, people, we didn't used to say to people, oh, yeah, we collect cardboard. Now it's actually really cool. And it's like a thing that everyone's starting to do. It seems like it's gone in like this complete opposite direction in the last like 4 years.
It's gone from being a niche to normality. That's how
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's one of those things which is just normal to do now. And I
Mm.
think tops and whatnot above all need to take a huge amount of credit for that,
Yeah.
about the ease of kind of buying cards, which can be seen as a pro and a con, and tops with their kind of work to make it that middle ground. I think this tops Premier League has done wonders for that. Um, but yeah, from the perspective of show on show, we just need to remember that the growth is organic, and the more that people put into it is the more they get out. And I know that sounds pretty cringe, but the growth, yeah, it didn't come overnight. A lot of shows, a lot of companies have put time and effort into growing it, a lot of YouTubers, and that's kind of coming to fruition with what we see today with the events and the kind of hobby we have.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I think this perfect example is every month now at the end of the month there is a partnership between the London Card Show and the Fanatics Collectible Store, Regent Street. Obviously the trade night, which is now a stalwart in everyone's calendar. How have you found that? Because obviously we're two in now. We had one in September and October. So for you, how's that been going? Because it's been a massive success. I was at the first one, and I've got to say it was great fun, very busy, but a lot of people not just buying, selling, they're trading their cars, but also getting to know each other, which I think you can't put a price on, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I think it's just accessibility. I
Mm.
think you mentioned before how many new people are getting into the hobby, and it's a perfect kind of feeler for kind of like almost middle ground for shows going to a trade night. So it's that good middle point in terms of how it's going. I think amazingly, that's not sounding big headed. It's just gone to plan. Both of them so far. The shop have been super happy. People have been buying stuff, buying wax. People have been selling to the shop. People have been coming. They've been sat down, getting the cards out, buying, selling, trading one with one another. So we've had celebrities come down interested, and I think, like I said, it's that good middle ground for everyone.
Yeah.
Celebrities, the new people new to the hobby, people existing in the hobby, people who are full time in the hobby. It's just that middle ground where everyone's welcome. There's a purpose for everyone. You can if you want to buy some stuff from the shop from each other, you can do that. If you just want to socialize and talk cardboard, not cardboard, it works. I know I don't see you boys nearly enough, and that once a month is good for us. It's almost a middle point for me who lives South London, you boys who live North London, Jeeves who lives out in Kent. It's the middle ground, and it just gives us the evening to kind of catch up, very communal, and it works like that. So again, it's one of those things which it made sense when the shop reached out and said, "Look, we'd love to do something monthly." We weren't going to say no. It works for us, and long may it continue.
Yeah, I was going to say, for anyone who had, so make sure you're on the newsletter for the London Car Show, because that's where more information always comes, as well as the Instagram page. I heavily recommend going down to it. Obviously, it's fun because you can grade your cards. Obviously, like you say, they offer us more higher price as well per buy-in. You can then end up, I'll tell you, some of the cards available in that shop at the moment are crazy. I know me and
Yeah.
Harry have had our eyes on a certain Aaron Judge in there for a while,
Yes.
one of one, but even just looking at some of the cards, it's great. And whereas before, now the Pokemon, there's some more in there, as well as some of the TCGs. That the store, I believe, is learning a lot as well from the people, and especially these trade nights, I think actually have quite an impact on the store. And also, I think it goes arm in arm. They come to the shows as well, and they listen to people. And it's all working together in the UK now, which is great to see. And like I say, obviously, London Car Show is playing a massive part in that. And we've got to talk roughly 2026. How much are you looking forward to moving into another year of collecting cards, arranging events, trade nights, everything like that? Because it has a promise to be one of the most successful years, not just for London Car Show, but the UK hobby in itself.
Yeah, I think Europe as a whole, with again
Yeah.
a big thing, massive thing. PSA opening their doors in Germany is a big move forward. Dare I say, if Brexit hadn't have happened, it probably would have been here. But again, we're not going to open that door. But yeah, it's exciting that with the trade nights monthly at the store, with the XL happening, with shows like growing show on show. I feel like it's just exciting times for us. It's exciting to grow. Everyone in the UK is looking in the direction of growth. TCG is going from strength to strength, but so is sports. A little bit
Yeah.
slower, but it's growing and it's really exciting. 2026 is due to be a big year. We just hope we can deliver to what's expected of us. Like I said, these trade nights, we've got activations which we're hoping to do, and maybe smaller events, stuff in half term with like kids camps. But bearing in mind, there's only three of us at the team at the minute, so yeah, we're working towards A, growing that, and B, growing kind of our operational foundation.
Yeah, I can't wait for 2026. No doubt everyone can't. But more importantly, I can't wait for this weekend at Sandown, obviously. And if you are still looking for tickets, come along to the Friday. Make sure you get your tickets now. But is there any closing messages you'd like to say before we obviously look forward to seeing everyone this weekend?
Just yeah, reach out. Any questions as always. Thank you for the support for 2025. It means a lot. I can hand on heart say I got very emotional while recording the XL video. Um, it was a pinch me moment when I moved from Tolworth to Sandown, and now to say I'm going to be running an event at the XL Centre is, yeah, I still won't believe it until the Monday after, if I'm being honest. But myself and the team, I probably should believe it by now, the amount of work me and the team are doing for it. But yeah, we've got some big companies coming for that. So we're looking forward to that each day. But come along on Friday if you don't have tickets. Reach out if you're really in need for weekend tickets, and we'll see what we can do. And yeah, once again, for myself and the team, thank you very much for everything you've contributed to the show. Sponsors, attendees, vendors, everyone. Thank you to my team. And yeah, it feels weird, but yeah, have a good New Year and a very Merry Christmas. I know that sounds
Oh,
very odd, but I
oh,
probably won't be speaking. Maybe there'll be a Christmas special on here, which I'll make an appearance on, hopefully. But
oh,
yeah, long
that
story
did
short,
sound weird. Oh,
yeah, I
that
didn't
did
like
sound
it,
weird.
but yeah, thank you for everything. Long story short.
Yeah, but no, like I say, massive thanks for joining us. I can't wait to obviously see you, but also can't wait to see that gem in. And also, Hector Plushie will be there in the next episode. I can
Yes,
guarantee you that right now. But like I say, Harry, massive thank you for joining and look forward to seeing
pleasure.
you this weekend. Well,
Thank
like
you
I
very much,
say,
bro. I'll see you this weekend.
another London Card Show for the books. 2025 is near enough ending. But like I say, massive thanks to Third Down UK for powering up this episode of the Top Loader Podcast. Whether you need card supplies, custom card stands, great preparation kits, whatever your hobby needs require, head over to their website, check the link in the bio, head over to their shop and use code TTP10 at checkout. But I hope everyone out there is looking forward to this weekend. But most importantly, buying, selling, trading, and all that good jazz. But most importantly, happy hobbying and good night.